Interview dogman Sonny Sikes. Part 4.
Sonny, did you know Walter Komosinski?
Yes, of course, Walter Komosinski, I knew him well. Walter was from Creighton, Pennsylvania. He lived there most of his life. As a teenager, he moved to Poland. Walter was a manager at a mine. After he retired, engineering students would come to him whenever a problem arose for advice. Walter was a pleasant person with a lot of life experience. He could talk about any subject. He should be, senator or a president. He bought a small farm near where he worked. He had 88 acres of land. And he owned about 40 dogs. He was a good breeder, and a good trainer. It was hard to beat him. Joe and Walter were good friends. But Walter, he bred dogs of the Colby lineage. He always bought Colby dogs, and they were very successful. I got in the ring with him twice. And I won, twice. Once, in 1 hour and 58 minutes. And the other, in 10 minutes. The dog, who won the fight, 10 minutes. It was called Bravo. I bought it from Hansel. He weighed 17 kilos, and he was very good. And the first time I won, from Walter. It was with a dog, called Hunt Pete. Hunt Pete is the sire of Giroux Bear. I don't know if Walter knew about carbohydrates. But his dogs, they were strong, and they always arrived, in the exact weight. Besides, he didn't like to travel. He preferred that they come to him. And that the referee was a friend of his. I know the fight took place, in a poorly lit place. The place looked like a coal mine, or a barn. A dusty carpet, and some light bulbs.
What can you tell me about Mike Ferris?
Mike is not a breeder, he is a dog fighter. If he thought you had a good dog, he would find you, even in Hong Kong. He is also active, and a good dogman. I know he introduced skinny dogs. But a lot of people did the same back then. Mike lives in Chicago. He works at a Catholic school or something. He has moved away from dogs, due to his health, he has asthma. His wife divorced him. So he walked away from the dogs.
Did you know the Lord, Floyd Boudreau? Was it in person?
Who? Did you mean, the brother of Martin Luther King? Yes, I knew. He's a good, dogman. I remember that for a long time. Me and him, we battle each other, with our dogs. I read his interview in a magazine. But, I didn't say anything. I don't know, how the ancient dog Eli was created. But, I know at that time. Our dogs weren't black. The only black dog I knew. It was Cry Baby by Evelyn Start. I saw the scrub dog, twice. Mayfield won easily with him. But, I think, he is not a fighting dog. I saw Blind Billy, Floyd's mainstay. But, I can't say exactly, where he got that idea. You must have heard the rumors. But, that's all I can say. About this subject.
What happened when you went to Mississippi? When did you pitch your dog against Jim Taylor?
I remember betting $500 against Jim in 1964. I won the fight, in 30 minutes. I remember, as soon as we entered the ring. The bet immediately increased to $5,000. At the time, that was a lot of money. Then we fight it again. The fight lasted 2 hours and 45 minutes, and I lost. He was with a bitch, of the Crenshaw lineage. That bitch was called Leprechaun. I fought, with Patches, in the 16 kilograms category. The 2 bitches died after the fight.
What other good dogs have you seen?
Well, I saw Earl Tudor's Spike kill Smith's Duggan. The Spike hit the shoulder a lot. I liked him. Spike had 2 brothers, one named Jeff and the other Buck. I saw Buck lose to Cracker. But Cracker was his half-brother. Buck was the son of Dubois, with Black Widow. And Cracker was the son of Dubois, with the female Red Lady. All these dogs are talented. Well, I also liked Kirkland's black dog. But he was also related to Dubois. The owner of the black dog was a man from Alabama. He beat the dog Cracker. Another dog, which I can rate, among the best I've ever seen. It's Jerome Hernandez, the nigger dog. Teal's Tip, and Susie, are also good. Cotton Bullet, and Reno, were good dogs. Reno is a 4-time winner, he is from the Corvino bloodline. I put it in the ring, that was my first fight. It lasted 2 hours and 45 minutes. Mr. Mayfield had a little dog named Jessie. She was brindle, white and brown. Biggest comeback, from the corner, of a ring, I've ever seen. That's when Duggan crawled around the ring toward Spike. His bones were sticking out. I remember Joe was excited. He threw the cape in the air, and squealed with excitement. I saw Wingo, who owned Bill Cotton. Mr. Jolly, who sold Bill Cotton to him. I saw Mike Ferris's dog Adolph, which was bred, by HNZL. Ferris Apache was a very good bitch. An excellent fighting bitch, weighing only 15 kilos.
What, can you tell me? About the dog, Cassius Clay? Do you know where he's from?
Okay. Cassius Collie was purchased by Pat Bodzianowski from a preacher for $10. This preacher was from the South, from Illinois. He decided to get rid of the dog. Why did this bulldog kill a dog in the street? And he was compromising the church. And that preacher, he was a fanatic. No one knows, from which crossing Clay was born. But, you can be sure, he is not the son of Teddy, or other Corvino dogs. I created Teddy, until his death. And I mated him, just my bitches, in my own backyard. Teddy never mated with Goldie, Crazy Mary, or any of those bitches. Yes, I saw an article about that in a magazine. However, back to Cassius Collie. He was a big dog, he was red with a black mask. He was terribly nice. When Pat bought it, he rolled it several times, but never matched it for cash. I tried to stop this dog, in the ring. But it came to nothing. One person told me that this dog had fought in the ring about 18 or 19 times. As I said before, he never fought for money. Pat sold it to Don Devine in Florida. Don bought this dog because he thought he was of the Ravenclaw lineage. He paid $900 for this dog. And I must say, it was a lot of money back then. When he came here, he was nervous, for that reason. He asked if I could stay with him. At the time, I had a bar, full of Mexican dogs, and black ones. They were hurt, from fighting each other. I had to take them, even to the veterinarian. Devine gave me some money and took a dog the next day. He pitted Clay against Strider. The Strider was the bloodline, Greenwood or Maloney. The fight was in Pickens, Mississippi, at 5:30 a.m. Clay won, and then Devine won another fight with him. The fight was not as successful as the first one. So he didn't put Clay in the ring again. While Pat still owned this dog. I asked him to let me prepare and display it. He let me, but this dog, he tried to kill me. I didn't like him. Every time I brought him food, his eyes would turn green and he would go crazy. Finally, I called Pat and told him, "Get that son of a bitch out of here."
Who issued the fake documents about Cassius Clay? Do you know if it was Devine?
I'm pretty sure it was Pat. That he made those papers, for the dog. But, it's really none of my business. I didn't do it, and if anyone did, it wasn't me anyway. After all, there are many dogs, with false documents, about which we know nothing. You have to understand one thing. Fighting dogs, Bright. They always come first. Well, you know, like what I told you. Teddy never made it with those bitches. And they were mentioned, in a magazine article.
You just said that buying a Bert Sorrell's dog is a good choice.
Yes. Teddy never made it with these bitches. They were mated, with the Duggan too. But Teddy can be considered the same as Duggan too. He was a litter brother to Giroux Bear, Hunt Pete, and Muggs. Some know this dog, like Reggie.
Who made the pedigrees, indicating Teddy on them? And the Sorrells know about this?
I don't know who did it, and I don't know if he knows it, but now he will. You can see, Teddy already had a reputation. I entered with Teddy, against Al Offer, and won with him. The fight lasted 2 hours and 14 minutes. At that time, he was already 7 years old, and he didn't have any teeth. He was a Gameness dog. But Duggan too was just as good. Teddy died on February 14, 1964. And I'm speaking the truth. He never mated, with any bitch but mine. I will also tell you about Going like Barney. Joe sold his father. It was a dog, named Booger. For Morris Rootberg, as a watchdog. Rootberg asked in a letter to Joe that he wanted a guard dog. And Joe had different dogs for different people. So Joe sold him this dog. Therefore, this dog was never put into fights. Joe, in the paperwork, signed this pit bull under the name Rootberg. So Rootberg sold a restaurant. And moved to California. In California, he crossed the dog with a female, Curvino. The female is called Crazy Mary, and as a result of this mating, Going like Barney was born. His father is not a Curvino dog.
Why did Joe give the fake papers? For that dog?
Because, he knew, people would ask about that guard dog. And why he didn't fight. Good. That's what he thought. He thought it would be better to give this dog a different pedigree.
The dog's owner's going light Barney. Did you know that?
I don't know. I think about it myself.
And how was your relationship with Maurice Carver, Leo Kennard, and Howard Teal?
Teal, he was a good dogman, and we're good friends. Teal is from North Carolina. He has his own restaurant. Teal had some dogs from Old Colby, which generated the Red Boy line. I don't know for sure if Sarge, which was his, was a Colby dog. I think he forged the papers. But I think Sarge could be the father of Red Boy. Sarge is a good dog. But he lost his last fight. That part of the country where they came from. It has always been famous for having good breeders and good dogmen. Leo and Maurice were good friends for me. Leo was a very decent person, and very honest. He had a beautiful property, and I spent a lot of time there. I remember one day, I started asking questions. Just like what you're doing now. He said, "Son, I've been at this for a long time. But I don't know everything, you son of a bitch. Look around you, and you will see dogs from good backgrounds. And some 1, 2 or 3 times. And always, you'll see a stray dog come out of nowhere and win. Son, I've been at this for a long time, you motherfucker, but I still don't know much. Out of 10 mated dogs you will have 4 to 5 really good dogs." Maurice Carver was a good dogman. There's a lot of discussion about his pedigrees. But I'm sure they are baseless matters. He was quite successful as a breeder. But many breeders have sinned on his pedigrees. And when the bad becomes more important to you than the good, I think you're in trouble. Maurice sent me lots of good dogs. I'll tell you now, what kind of person he is. If only he knew I had a good dog. He would call me and ask if it was possible to cross paths with her. Carver told me it was his mistake to cross Bullison. And that he would like to breed his bitch with a dog called Boots the blacksmith. Carver was waiting at the border. He had 2 44 Magnums. He gave one to Eddie Klaus, and one to Hernandez. Hernandez gave it to me after Maurice Carver died. Earl Tudor was a dog fighter, and very active. He also bred good dogs. Joe had a friend who worked at the post office, where the Earl Tudor received the mail. He was a black guy named Silvers. This Silvers, he printed Tudor's correspondence. And then he would tell Joe everything that was in those letters. Joe got the letters from Earl Tudor before him.
You think a Ravenclaw, of pure bloodline. Would it be good enough, in today's fights?
Good. I would say these are Gameness dogs. Perhaps now, they were a little out of date, for our time.
What dog do you keep now?
It's been a while since I've been out of combat with dogs. I have a few dogs. For me, but it's because I really like dogs. And my wife Bridget is one person who can prove it. I have several dogs from the Boomerang lineage that I like.
My name is Rodolpho Luiz, and I invite everyone to enjoy the knowledge of this wonderful breed. Subscribe so you don't miss the next video. God bless you all. I went.